My name is Russell Beatty. I am from Amazon. This is bringing media apps to the Amazon Fire TV. I'm the Lab 126, Amazon Lab 126 technical evangelist for the HTML5 platform. Amazon Lab 126 is the part of the company that makes the hardware. So starting with the Kindle years ago, and then moving on to the tablets and the Fire TV and the Fire phone, and even the cool new things like the Amazon Dash buttons and the wireless device and the Echo. So we do a lot of those cool projects. So I'm here with Justin Webster. You can introduce yourself.
My name is Justin Webster. I am a product development and our operations manager over at the Wall Street Journal, which is just a few blocks south of here. And Russ invited me today to come and talk a little shop with those of you that are interested in learning more about Amazon. And I'll talk to you all a little bit about our process in developing a product for the Amazon Fire and Stick.
So this is a little bit of technical talk. I'm the technical evangelist, and it's focused on what we're calling the Web App Starter Kit for Fire TV. And what it is we've come up with a way of bringing media content to the Fire TV using just web technologies. And it's quick and easy. So let's go over the agenda just quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you just an overview of the Amazon Fire TV and Fire TV Stick, just make sure you guys know all about what those boxes are. Talk about Amazon Fire OS, which is our version of Android, and the HTML5 platform that we've put on top of Amazon Fire OS. Then I'm going to talk about the starter kit that we have. It's an open source project that's out on GitHub for developers that can download and get started pretty quickly with developing media apps using HTML5. I'm going to show you the demo of the template and how it works. And then we'll show you a live app, a few live apps, but the Wall Street Journal, the WSJ Live app, we'll do a demo of that. And then I'm just going to show you a quick development hands-on for any of you guys who might be technical, just to show you how easy it is to get up and running if you're a web developer. So get started. So the Amazon Fire TV and Fire TV Stick, it's a really powerful platform for developers. So say if you're a game developer or an app developer, and also content creators to get into living rooms. They're both obviously streaming media boxes, but they're a lot more than just streaming media. They're full Android devices. We launched the Fire TV a year ago, and it was the best-selling Amazon device. And then we launched the Amazon Fire TV Stick in December, and that was the best-selling Amazon device. So, given how popular the Kindle devices are and the tablets, it's saying quite a lot. The Fire TV is the more powerful of the two, and it's actually 3 times the processing power of, say, an Apple TV or Roku, and it's got a lot of really powerful features that make it really great for developers and for content creators. So it's got quad-core processor, it's got a great GPU, it's got 8 gigabytes of RAM, of storage rather, on board, plus it's expandable via USB stick. And it has 2 gigabytes of RAM, which is really good for an Android device. And what this allows it to do is provide a really great platform for maybe first-person shooters if you're doing games, or for media, full Dolby surround sound, HD media. The user interface is quick and fast and fluid, so that users don't have to wait, they don't have to struggle. And again, it's a full sort of platform, so it's a very powerful device. The companion to that is the Fire TV Stick. Now, Fire TV Stick is the same OS, the same functionality as the Fire TV, but in a much smaller and less expensive platform. It's also very powerful. It's got 4 times the storage and 2 times the memory of something like a Chromecast. But unlike a Chromecast, it's not just a receiver. It's a full-on operating system driven device that allows you to view media and then also play games and things. And this is pretty powerful. It's got a dual core processor and a powerful GPU, but also something as cool as dual band, dual antenna Wi-Fi, which allows it to stream HD content very quickly and not have to buffer a lot or lose connection. So it's a really nice device, and so for something so small, it's very powerful and allows you to do, again, 1080p video, surround sound. So if you were an app developer, game developer, we have over 1,000 apps in the App Store already, and over 600 games, I think. And so you can do games that are as simple as Flappy Bird's Family, which is just a fun Flappy Bird clone, a game. It's official from the creator of Flappy Bird. It allows you to just use one button to compete with your family or friends to play. Or you can get a Bluetooth controller, such as the Amazon Fire game controller, and you can do more powerful games on both devices, but especially on the Fire TV, you can do first-person shooters, you can do lots of cool things. So it's a really great platform for apps as well as media. But since we're here, this is a media platform, a media conference, really what it is a streaming media box, and this is where most of it's what is being used, these devices, this platform is being used for. So in addition to Amazon Instant Video, which has 200,000 movies and TV shows, we also have a variety of other content providers, Netflix, Hulu, Crackle, a lot for video. We have the audio, Pandora, Spotify. So we have, I think it's over 1,000 different apps in the App Store right now, and all these different content providers for media. The bottom row are all HTML5 apps. They're all made using HTML5 web technologies. And they're actually, all of these particular ones are actually created using the Web App Starter Kit, which we're going to talk about. I'm going to go into detail about that. So this includes University of California, University of Washington, Wall Street Journal, who's here to talk about it, Funny or Die, which just launched a few days ago. Also, something like Motors, which is a syndicated cable content show about autos and things, and even something as fun as Weißwasser, which is a second-tier professional ice hockey team in Germany. They decided they wanted to create a video app, and they had web developers on board, and they were able to grab the template and create a channel. So I thought that is actually a very cool example of getting up to speed and creating custom niche content for the device. So that's sort of the platform in general, the hardware and some of the things you can do with it. I wanted to kind of deep dive a little bit on what it is that we're, as a content creator or a developer, that you'd be targeting. So it's amazing that only 3.5 years ago, Amazon launched its first Android device. That was the original Kindle Fire. Since then, we've launched 10 tablets, 2 streaming media boxes, and 1 phone. There's tens of millions of Fire devices out there. It's not a niche product. It's actually all of those devices are in consumers' homes. They're being used right now to consume content, from games and videos to books and other digital content. And it's a real thriving sort of ecosystem for developers to target. This is tied together from the Amazon App Store. So the Amazon App Store runs on the tablets, runs on the phone, runs on the TV, and then also runs on Android devices as well. So you can install the devices. And there are over 400,000 apps in the Amazon App Store that run on millions of Android devices. So the Amazon App Store is a great sort of like a system that ties together all these devices plus third-party devices as well. And it provides a great target for both developers and content creators. It's also preloaded on BlackBerry 10, so it's not just on Amazon devices only, it's also on other devices. So when you're developing for Fire OS, you have a few options. You can be a native app developer if you happen to know Android or Java, and if you happen, or you can hire an Android Java developer. This is a little bit more of an investment, I think, than a lot of content creators want it to do or want to make. cross-platform apps are a really good solution. You can develop web apps and then sort of wrap them in PhoneGap Cordova, which is a system for taking web apps and creating native, web content and creating native apps from them. So that's actually a very good practical solution. And then at Amazon, what we've done is we've created a thing called the Mobile App Distribution Program. So you can just be a web developer, not know anything about Android at all, not know anything about Fire OS, create an app, and then submit just those assets. You can either host them on your own server, and then we'll create an app for you, or you can actually just post the zip file to our servers, and we'll package that up as an app that can get distributed on our devices. So again, those are the tablets and or the TV. So this is actually a really great way for web developers to get their content on the App Store and onto the Fire TV. Now, the reason that that the web apps are able to do that is because of the HTML5 platform. So Android, a few years ago, had a really bad, what was called a web view, which is this basically a web engine that you could embed into Android apps. And the web view was horrible. So what we did is we took the Chromium project and we ported it to Android and then started working on it to work on the Android tablets. Now, the reason we did that is because almost all the stores that are on the Android tablets, the bookstore, the music store, the Audible bookstore, gosh, I can't remember all of them, the retail store, did I say that right? There's about 10 or 12 different stores, and they're all powered by web technology. They look like apps, they're integrated into the tablets, but they're all, the back end, the front end is all done with web. Amazon obviously has been around since the beginning of the web, really, and so has a lot of expertise there. We want to make sure that the experience for end users using HTML5 as an app was as seamless as using a native app. So we put a lot of work into making sure that we had an engine on the devices that was as powerful as it needed to be to basically be fast and fluid and seamless for end consumers. That means that we were able to do, support modern web standards. We were able to do things like having remote debugging, and that it was optimized for the hardware. So we made sure that if you had animations or if you had other sort of JavaScript functionality, that it would be optimized for the hardware. And obviously, it's integrated at a low level into the OS. So it's a really great platform. Put a lot of effort into making sure that it wasn't just off the shelf, that it was actually integrated into all of the tablets. When we launched the Fire TV, we ported that over as well to make sure that we could have HTML5 apps on the Fire TV. So the thing is, when we first started developing for the Fire TV, we thought we could just take this engine and throw it on the Fire TV, and that would be it. It'd be done. But it turns out that Android web views and Chromium are all kind of made for. Well, first they started on a desktop, and then they went to touch devices, tablet and phones, and they're really meant to be used in that way with interactive, either a mouse or touch. Turns out the keyboard events, the events that have to do a lot with interacting with the native controls, weren't really that well done. There was a lot of bugs. The bugs could be anytime a video element showed up on a page, you couldn't activate it. If there was a number format input field, you couldn't escape it by using the remote control. So this was a surprise, and we had to spend a few months working on this and debugging these problems with the WebView and making sure that they could work with a remote control from a 10-foot. So a couple things came from that. First is developers that already had media apps that had a web-based sort of interface. They had some problems. They had bugs they were able to give us, and we were able to work them out. The second thing, though, is that we had developers who were trying to port over tablet apps. And they had events that responded to touch or responded to clicks, but didn't respond to keyboard events, which is what remote control sends. And they really had no idea what to do. If you go out to the internet now and you're a web developer, there are thousands of projects to help you do a website or a mobile website or a mobile web app, but there's less than a handful, less than I can count in my hand, for a TV screen, right? There's just nothing out there that helps them with that. So this will give you an example of what I'm talking about. This is the TED website, right? So TED has all these great videos of talks. This is their responsive desktop site. So this is what it looks like on a desktop. Then it responsive, it comes down to either tablet or mobile. It just kind of shrinks. Both of the functionality here is pretty much the same. It's you click or you tap on the interface, the menu buttons and things, and play the videos, and it's pretty much the same. But then you get to their official Fire TV app, and it's a completely different experience. This is a 10-foot user experience. And now it's not as directly interactive. It's much simpler. People are sitting back on the couch. It's a 10-foot experience. The lean back experience, where they're just using a remote. It has to be simple, fast, easy to understand, and use. And it's really unlike those other two. This is a definition from Wikipedia about the 10-foot user experience. But in general, you can think of 10-foot user experience, you guys probably all know it, is just something that your mom can use. It's something that people will just want to be able to sit back on the couch and figure out using a remote control without having to put a lot of time and effort. They don't want to get confused by drop-down menus or different interfaces. They want to be able to get right to the content quickly and easily without getting really, overwhelmed by an interface. So what we did was we got all this feedback from the developers, and we said, okay, well, we need to help these guys out. So we created the Web App Starter Kit for Fire TV. It is a pure web app, so it's all HTML5 technology, so there's nothing proprietary about it. There's no Amazon-specific things. It's basic HTML5, and it can be done with pure web apps, like I was saying before. You can put on the mobile app distribution program and just host a website or post your assets to our servers, and we'll make an app for you, a channel for the Fire TV. Or you can use a Cordova PhoneGap and wrap it up inside of a more advanced Android app as well. So there's options there that we're trying to be as generic as possible to make sure that we give developers as many options. It's open source. We host it on GitHub. It's open source with a Creative Commons license, so it's free to use. We just want you to take it and do whatever you want with it. There's no sort of strings attached. And the reason is we want to be able to just get more content on the Fire TV platform. So we just said, here it is, go grab it and do what you'd like to do it. And we've already have developers. It's been a success, actually. We've had developers, like I said, the Weisswasser hockey team just went to the GitHub, grabbed the content, and made a channel just like that. We didn't have any input with them. The template has, and I'm going to give you a demo of it in a second, has all the features that you'd want. Category lists, continuous playback, the video, when it gets to the end of a video, it'll go to the next one in a certain category, has integrated search, has themes, and has configurable data sources. I'm going to talk about this in a second. And most importantly, already has live apps. Wall Street Journal was our very first one. And then we also have ones that have launched, PGA Tour, Funny or Die, some other major ones as well. So this is these content creators are using this template, this very basic HTML5 template to launch real media apps quickly and easily. And so that's what the project's for. So the backends, we started out with just a JSON, which is just a JavaScript kind of text format for the data source, and then regular MP4s that you would serve from a web server. We started out that as an example, and then as we've done releases, we're on our third release so far. Our fourth release is going to come soon. We've added other features. So MRSS is what powers all the podcasts. So if you see iTunes podcasts, that uses an XML format called Media RSS. We also added support for the YouTube API. So if you download the project, you can, and I'm going to actually demo how to do an app using this way. You can use your YouTube API key. Go to Google, you register as a developer, you get a key, and then you can just pop it into the template, choose the channel that you want from YouTube, and create a media app really, really quickly. And then just most recently, we've done, we're partnering with these different online video providers, Kaltura, Brightcove, Ooyala, who have, are commercial services that host the content and host video for a variety of content creators. And we've basically creating plug and play support for them as well, so that if you are a Ooyala customer or a Brightcove customer and you want to just create a media app from your content, we're basically giving you everything you need. You just put in your credentials, do some basic development, some basic entry of what you want and who you are and all that, and then you can get a Media app. So it's really most batteries included as a solution. All right, so now I'm going to do a demo. We're going to switch over to the Fire TV now. Oh, I guess the guy is gone. So let's see. I can't get over there. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'll ditch. Hold on, dress for a second here. Oh, you're coming. Oh, good. Okay. I was about to give you guys a show. I didn't see you back there. Thank you so much. Sorry, I gotta activate it. There we go. All right, so I'll take a step down here. Okay. So, in case you haven't seen it before, this is the Fire TV interface. Could we? Can you hear me? Okay, you can. There you go. It's fine. I'll put it up a little higher. Yep. There. How's that? All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is the Fire TV interface. You have a menu on the left, which has the different types of content. So Prime Videos, if you're a Prime customer, you get all these free Amazon Instant Video content. The home areas where you have your access to your different apps and or content that you may have watched. There's a game section where you can explore the games you already own or find new games, an app section, music. It also integrates with your Amazon Cloud Drive photos. So it's got a lot of different features to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the web app tester, which is an app that is actually on the App Store. So you can just search for it and download it, and show you a demo of the different of the template itself and how it works. So this is just a menu that I've made. This is all in HTML5 web page. It just helps me go through and show you some of the top row is all of the different features of the template that you can download right from GitHub. And then these are actually live apps that we can take a look at. So at its simplest, now this is actually being served from an S3 web server. So it's not being, none of this interface that you see is actually local. It's all being pulled over the web right now, over the Wi-Fi. So hopefully it works okay. So this has your basic sort of structure. You have a category list of various categories. This is all sample data. This is just from the that's contained inside of the example app. So you can choose which category you'd like. It'll then load up thumbnails from each video. You can see that as I'm going through these, this is actually pretty quick, fast, fluid. This is all CSS transform, so it's actually using GPU accelerated CSS animation to make sure that it looks just like a native app. I can hit select button on the remote. It's a Bluetooth remote, by the way, so that's why I don't have to point at anything. And then it'll play a video. This video is the classic Big Buck Bunny MP4 test video. I'm sure all of you have seen. We've skinned the player so that it always looks the same no matter what source we use, because we can swap out the players, we can swap out the back end. So this particular video is using, here, let me hit play again. This particular video is an MP4 video, and it's the categories all came from a JSON sort of text document. But I'm going to show you different back-end sources. Oops. I think we're having some streaming issues. Let's hope. There we go. And you can see that you can customize that. When it gets to the end, it'll show you a preview of the next video to play. You can activate that, or you can wait for the countdown, and it'll go. So let me activate the next video. It's the same video, actually, in this example. And it'll play the next one. Here we go. So hit the back button, and you go back to the media app. So it's very basic in terms of the overall structure, but you can actually do quite a lot with it. So here's the same content. Again, this is all comes from the download. I'm going to show you I'm going to give you a quick demo at the end of how to download it and see what and see how you can do this, modify the app to create your own themed version. So now we have a, you can't see it very well on the screen, but this is actually a transparent background now instead of a solid black border. I can do the category. Oops, I did this. Here you go. So I can go into the category. I can also do, and this is what's integrated into, I'm just going to search for the letter A because I know it's everywhere. But if you don't have server-side search, it'll do a client-side search. It'll take a look at all the metadata that's been already downloaded and then show you the results from that metadata. And what I mean by metadata is the title and the description. So even if you don't have integrated search functionality, if you've downloaded 100, 200 videos and your users want to be able to search for it, they can. Oops. Hit the back button. So these are the simple ones. We've also integrated the ability to have live video. So what we've done is, this is NASA's app. You can see that I've created a really basic theme. I swapped out the background. I put a logo up the top right, changed the colors a little bit. And the player now is able to get HLS live streaming video. So this is the, hopefully this plays. There we go. So this is actually NASA's live stream that's coming from their website, all open web technologies. And you can see that we've changed the player a little bit because you can't fast forward into the future. So we've taken out that functionality so that it's very clear to the end user what they're seeing. This is actually really popular with churches. There's a lot of churches out there that want to have simulcasts of their sermons on Sundays and then also do video on demand afterwards. So you can see that if I go to my category here, the live stream just integrates in with, there we go, integrates in with the video on demand seamlessly. So it's, and again, this is just part of the template. You just change the data source and put this in, describe what you want in the data source, and you get this result. What I did here was I took, so TED has their own official app, right? So they're already doing their own thing. But they also have a podcast. They have their podcast stream that is in media RSS format. So I was able to just take their media RSS, add a logo, and put it into the template and get a TED Talks channel. So this is actually from their servers. The RSS feed was from their servers. And we can see this is their content. And now we have a unofficial TED app. Hopefully that's playing. There we go. So you can see that this is, and it's all HD video right from their servers. This is basically using the same system again as iTunes would use, but it's now just integrated into the template and the HTML5 engine on the Fire TV. So this is actually a really cool thing. We've done the YouTube integration I was talking about before. What I did here was, this is the official Kindle channel. So we're going to actually make this app at the end. All I did was change the logo, change the background, add in the YouTube API, and then point it at the YouTube/user/Kindle channel. And we have an official app for the Kindle commercials. What's cool about this is that it also supports multiple levels of playlists, of categories, so that we can see that these are different categories, and when I go into that category, I can now see all of the content that's in that category. So you can have multiple levels. So say if you wanted to have season and episodes, and then, or I guess, show, then seasons and episodes, you could do that within the interface as well. So it's pretty flexible. Now, when I play this video, unlike the other videos, which were just plain MP4, this is the actual YouTube player. So we've wrapped their JavaScript player, and we made it look exactly the same as the other content. So you can manipulate it with CSS just like you would do any other content, and all the players are like that. So the Brightcove and the Ooyala, I think it's Ooyala, they have their own custom players, and so you can theme them just like you would any other content. And again, it has the continuous play, so it'll play this commercial and then go on to the next commercial. So pretty basic, media app, right? Again, all web technologies, all something that somebody can do pretty easily. We've also got a sample for in-app purchases that you can download. And this is, what we want to do is kind of show the simplest version. In-app purchases can be a little complicated. And so we wanted to show a very simple version of what it would be like to add in something for the users to do purchasing. So we added an upgrades button here. And this will pop up a selection box where you can go and decide, I want to purchase the Blue Scribe background. This is probably pretty impractical, but the idea is that we wanted to give developers a sort of canonical, very simple example of how in-app purchases would work. So I would press OK, up would pop up the official Amazon App Store purchase. I'd say purchase, bam, comes from my Amazon account that's already registered, and now I have that background. And that didn't switch. Let's try that again. Okay, the demo gods are frowning on me, but the background's supposed to switch when I chose that menu item. So it does work. I'm just not right now. So that is what is in the template. So when you download the zip from the GitHub site or check out the content if you're a developer, or pull the repository rather, you will get all of those as example projects. So you can just grab those, modify the CSS, modify the HTML if you're a web developer. Very easy. So here's an example of University of California. I love this app because so when I clicked on that, I went to the store. This is what their store looks like when you do a lookup. You can also do a voice search on the Fire TV. So I could search using the voice for University of California. University of California. And you would basically see apps and games, and I can click on it. You'd get the same thing. So let's go back here. Sorry. I don't want to get too lost. All right, so back to my interface here. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. You can see the reviews. We got 4 stars, so people are not unhappy with the functionality or the interface. We're going to open it up. The great thing about this app is that they had tons of content already. They had put in lots and lots of classes onto YouTube. They had thousands of videos. And basically, they were able to create a custom focused app for their content in no time at all. They had one developer on staff who was just a web developer who maintained their website, and he was able to take their YouTube content, put in the key, modify the back. He liked that blue. He really thought that was good. And put in all of their different classes. So if I go here, I can see all the different types of content. And they have thousands of different classes that are ready to go. And again, this is all the YouTube channels, so that this is a live app that I'm using. This isn't the demo. So the YouTube channel, again, is wrapped just like the rest of it. I don't know what's going on. So that's not good. Let's try that again. Oh, whew. All right. There we go. One of the things I didn't show you before was the skip. So as you skip forward or backwards, it gives you a 30-second skip. Or you can actually modify this as a developer. You can say, I want to be 60-second skip if you're in a longer video or a shorter video. And that looks the same across all the different types of back-end content. So again, this content is coming from their YouTube stream. So they have all this content already. They've done all this effort to organize it and put it up on YouTube. And so it's great that they're able to then immediately create an app from their own content, which is really, really cool. And not have to have a dedicated developer or dedicated person on staff to do it. Let me show you a couple other ones. Let's check out the Funny or Die. This just launched a couple days ago. You can see the template is very similar, but as an end user, really end users just kind of want to know how these things work. They don't want to have to figure out every single app that they use. So for the most part, that's OK. So this is going to load up just a second. All right. So you can see that we go up to the top. They have these categories. If you do a search and they have YouTube content or back-end content, it'll actually do a server-side search. I didn't mention that before. So we can go, let's see. I'm not sure which is, do a play. Again, this is their live app. Oh, that one started up much quicker. That looked good. So then that's an example of that. And I think I'm pretty much done with the demos. Let's see, make sure one more. Oh, I want to show this one just because I like it a lot. This is I'm not even trying to pronounce the first one. This is the Weisswasser app. These guys, they just grabbed the open source project and uploaded the content and created an app. And they used the materials from their uniform to create this app. And it looks really good. And it's all just content from their different seasons, interviews, and things. And they've just been able to make their own niche app for their fans and launch it in Germany, which I think is great. So, all right. This is the Wall Street Journal app. I just want to give a 2-second demo because then we're going to talk about it, and I'll give it over to Justin. But this is what it looks like. So this is the live app. You have their content, their different the menu system it has their different categories, and this is what it looks like. So, all right, we're going to switch back to the. Yeah. So what do you think? Pretty good. Lots of different options from a very basic sort of template. So it works out pretty well. Yeah, it's ready to go. How are we doing on time? Let's see. Okay, good. I'm zipping off. All right, so I'm going to hand it over to Justin, who's going to talk about his experience with the template and Fire TV.
Thank you, Russ. Switch with you.
There we go.
So, WSJ Live. What is WSJ Live? Wall Street Journal, better known for its newspaper and certainly iOS products, but we launched WSJ Live in 2011, September to be exact, and it was sort of our imagining of how we would take a journalism product which had been, sort of well produced since 2008, and really expand it. Certainly, the live component was important to us. It launched in 2011 with five shows. They were a half an hour apiece. Sort of spread out over the day, where we weren't a linear channel, which made things a little challenging on the technology side. But we've got 40 talented men and women around the world, spread out mostly between US, our Hong Kong office, and London office, producing 1,500 videos a month, 120 hours of video a month. And in the launch, we picked a select few of OEM products, 8 were on launch day. And I'm showing you sort of a sampling of what we're on today, but it includes both WSJ's website, so you can find a responsive WSJ Live version on WSJ.com/video. We're on, by the way, 32 platforms to date, which includes both the OEM products and our syndication partners. But apps, of course, Amazon, Fire TV, and Stick are our most recent product launches, but you can find us on some of the other products as well. Roku, Apple TV is an example. YouTube, we've been on YouTube for quite a while. And then, of course, our syndication side of the platform, which is sending off MRSS feeds to our various partners and letting them ingest and display content. It's fun to talk about the products, but I really would love to show you guys something our team put together, a little presentation for me to share with you. And if you don't mind, it's really short, but it's pretty cool.
story goes, the story of the beast with those four dirty.
Video always makes me smile. The team did a great job with that. It's interesting. You got an opportunity to see a little bit of a mix of things that we do, and one of the things that's worth pointing out, it was a mix of certainly highly produced content, which the team is really, really good at doing, but it also took advantage of the 1,200 journalists that we have out there in the world that are carrying around Android and iPhone devices or even iPads and shooting video for us. You saw a couple of examples of that in that quick little reel, and there you may have noticed that at the top right there was a little tagline that said WSJ Mobile, and that's video footage that's coming from the field, from some of our reporters that are embedded in places like Syria and some other really difficult places to get content out of, and team's really proud of them. They do a fantastic job, but it's sort of a quick, just more than news. Don't know that it's necessarily obvious, but one of the things that kind of struck us as we were deploying product and really starting to think about what kinds of content we were going to produce, it's the Wall Street Journal, right? Business and finance is certainly something that we're well known for, but when we started expanding that to video journalism, we found a lot of our viewers and customers weren't all that interested in watching business and finance video. As many of you can probably imagine, folks tend to gravitate after they're done coming to us in the morning and reading about business and finance. They gravitate towards things like lifestyle. We have a very, very rabid viewership that loves stuff like Mansion, which is our real estate section. So just a quick look at how our breakdown of audience. So 35% of our content is news, but you look at business and finance is not certainly not number one or number two. Lifestyle and technology, which we do quite a bit of content around, and then our opinion and our live programs and personal finance. So original programs, like I said earlier, we do 5 shows a day. We've cut them down from about 30 minutes. They now run about 15 or 20 minutes. We're starting to rethink some of that as well as we iterate the product a bit more. Starting to still do news, but we're finding that our viewers really appreciate some of the more lifestyle stuff, so like Lunch Break, which is a show we run at 12, and it's really more focused on stuff that's going on that's not so news heavy. Short Answer is a great piece that one of our journalists, Jason Bellini, launched a year ago, and they're short explainers. You saw a little bit of that in the video I shared, and then our WSJ Cafe series, which we're starting to expand on a little bit more as well, covers live musical performances and interviews with authors and actors and actresses. Platform engagement. This is an aggregate, by the way, of our entire platform suite, and not just our Amazon Fire TV and Stick. But just a couple of things to share with you I think are kind of interesting. Average ad completion rate about 83%, which is really, really high, at least as I talk to peers in the industry. Certainly our ad folks are loving that. I think one thing that we've learned as we've launched certainly products on the television side of the world is that we've generally kind of grown up in the internet space with a 1-to-1 ratio, advertising or pre-roll to video. We've found that customers tend to complain to us. We listen to them when we have a television product and you're sitting in your living room trying to enjoy video, and we play video pre-roll in front of every single piece of video. We have heard customers complain to us, and we've tried to limit that to some extent across a multitude of the television products. Completion rate for video, 71%. Average views per viewer, 4, pretty decent. The one I really love, the 32-minute average view time per user is pretty solid, and one of the reasons for such a high number are products like this. Our television products certainly as a nice lean back 10-foot experience. You can really sit down, hit the play button, engage, chill out for a little bit, enjoy the product. And so yeah, one of the big reasons we find that tablets and television products really boost the average view time when compared to desktop or phone, which kind of makes sense, right? It's, like I said, much more of a lean back experience. This probably looks a little familiar. Russ showed you the web app starter kit just a few minutes ago, and we took great advantage of this. Not a lot to do to it. We downloaded it, put some branding on it. I think we had a couple of things we had to think about internally, and were we going to support live, which we don't today. That would have required a little bit of a technical challenge for us. As I said, we're not a linear live channel, so we had to build an internal API that allows apps like Amazon, if we're going to go live, to essentially ping the service and ask the service, hey, are you live or not? And if it is, you play live video, and if you're not, you default to something VOD. But like I said, probably looks pretty familiar. Our editorial team controls that little menu on the left-hand side, and that menu is controlled across a whole plethora of products. They just go in, they have a little UI, they can change the categories, they can add videos to playlists, remove videos from playlists, and as we saw, Russ was able to click, it crashed, but our video is 2 clicks away at any given time, and oftentimes, which I think is really great. I think one of the things that's worth mentioning about the Amazon product, and certainly something we've learned across the board, is that not changing the UI a whole lot we found is pretty important. Customers, and Russ mentioned this as well, I think a lot of customers don't really enjoy jumping into multiple apps and having to learn a UI. That's something that we've had to learn a bit over the last couple of years. And everybody, particularly as product people, you get in there and say, oh, I want to go design this really beautiful app. For the television, you go out and make something that looks completely different from maybe what the OEM is suggesting, or maybe what is sort of the norm. And like I said, we've kind of learned our lesson on that, and really try and stick towards what customers are used to using. So very few changes to the web app starter kit. And from a deployment standpoint, I was joking with Russ and the team. For us, it was probably one of the easiest deployments we've had over the last 4 or 5 years. And again, it's HTML. Literally can pass it to any one of my guys. In fact, I sat down at the desk and did the first rev of it before passing it off so some other folks could take a look at the code. But 1 week to production, 3 days worth of testing and sign off. Amazon was super helpful in us getting it into the store and then approving it. Launched December 9th actually last year, and used the web app starter kit. Russ, you want to finish up and talk to the team a little bit about how we get this stuff out?
Sure. So, all right. So we're running. It's 11:25, so we'll just do a couple more minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick demo now of just what the process is to get up and running. And this is slightly technical, but it's not too bad. We actually have a couple different development processes, right? If you're a front-end developer, we have a full-on compilation step where we have all the types of scripts you would need to generate lots of different apps. But if you just want to get started and you just have some basic web development skills, you can still actually get stuff up and running pretty quickly. This is your basic development lifecycle. I'm going to download it. I'm going to modify the pre-existing sort of compiled app. I'm going to debug it, and then I'm going to publish it to the App Store. So I'm going to quickly go through that now. Here are the links. This will be up online later, but the idea is that it's on github.com on our official Amazon's channel on GitHub. And so if you go there, you can get to the web app starter kit for Fire TV. You can download. If you're a web developer, you can actually use Git to pull the repository. And if not, there's actually a precompiled zip for you that you can get to as well. I'll let you guys take a picture first. Everybody all set? Oh, one more. and again, this will be online, and if you do a search, you'll be able to find it pretty easily. So, so if you were going to download it and then unzip it, one of the projects, I'll show you this in just a second, but this is what you would see. In the root, you would just basically see an index.html page and the CSS, which is the styling. Inside, this is the entirety of the project. Those are all of the assets, the images, and those are all of the JavaScript files. So it's not a huge project. It's actually pretty manageable. We also limited the amount of external dependencies, so it uses jQuery and Handlebars, which are two projects that help. They're pretty familiar for most developers in terms of developer familiarity. So it's not a very big project, not a very complicated project. Should be easy to get into and develop for. The first thing you would do is there's an init.js, which is a JavaScript file, has an object in there, just some parameters that you put in there. You can see in the bottom it says the user. This is so we're going to do the demo of the YouTube channel. So this is the YouTube channel example. So we're just going to use Amazon Web Services or Kindle or whatever you want. And then this is where you put your dev key. So you put your Google API dev key so that you're basically in charge of that, and you're making an app for your content, hopefully, and you put that there so then you can create your app. Once you've done that, then we actually, in the documentation that's included in the project, we have something that looks just like this, where it basically points out in the CSS what you'd want to modify. So if you want to go and change the colors of the background or of the category or anything like that, it's very simple. There's some pretty basically named parameters. You can see them pointed out. And it basically, if you want the text to be red, or you want it to be blue, you want the background to be an image of your team's uniform, it's pretty straightforward to do that. So this is the one example. Here's another one. You can go through and change the selection or the not selection. So it's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to give you an example of that. But at the end part, then we're going to want to debug it. And so we're going to use the web app tester. And you can either serve it as like you would do any normal website, and you just run a Python command or use some sort of server, or you can actually zip it all up and then push it to your Fire TV and actually test it on the Fire TV itself. So let me give you a quick demo of all this. And open up my browser, and I've actually already gone to the GitHub webpage. And this is what the project looks like. So if you were a front-end developer, you would pull the Git repository and go from there. But if you actually look down into the content, into the README, you'll see that there's a live example. It's already running out on amazon.github.io, amzn.github.io. And then here's a zip file right here. So we can just download the zip file with one click, and it'll start to download. So I won't wait for that. I actually have one already downloaded. So here's our zip. So we're going to open it up. So we've expanded the zip file. Everyone can see okay? Well, it's kind of blurry, but you get the general idea. Let's see. And here is the examples inside of you can see that these are the examples that I showed you before. So in-app purchases example, which basically shows a nice basic idea. You can expand that by looking at the IAP examples on developer.amazon.com and do subscriptions and do lots of things. Your MRS example, the simple, which just uses MP4s and a JSON, JavaScript blob. Then we also have a couple of those YouTube examples. So I'm going to go into one. Let's create a channel. We're going to copy and paste this. So let's rename this thing here. We'll name it Kindle Channel. Oops. So now when I open this up, you can see again that there's not very much in there. Let's see if I can. Oh, you can't really blow this up. So, but we're really only going to modify a couple files. The first one will be our init.js. So I'll edit that. Here's what it looks like. And I have some pre-organized text array, so I'll just copy paste that. So here is, and again, this is straight from this is exactly the way I would do it as a developer. I grab the actual zip file. This is exactly what it looks like. I'm going to put in my dev key here and save that. Let's minimize this. So if I scroll up, and if I double click on the index.html, shrink this a little bit. Oh, too much. The default was the Amazon Web Services channel, so here it is. This is our Amazon Web Services channel. This is all the default, what it looks like. We can go through and hit play button and actually play
The thing we like
videos.
best about web and can
skipping.
like different areas of
And then hit and go back. So let's take this and we're going to convert this into a Kindle channel. So first thing we're going to do is go to the Kindle channel. So let's go and we'll refresh this. And now we have the Kindle content. And you can see that it automatically imported the YouTube categories as organized by the content creator on YouTube. So we can see that this is the content there. And it doesn't look very good, so we're going to modify the CSS a little bit. So let's go into, oops, I've got to find the files first. Minimize that for a second. Here's our CSS. All right, so again, I've got some pre-text. So let's add this as a background here. So we'll go to the body, and we'll just change this background so that instead of using a image, we'll just use a nice blue gradient. Refresh, and there it is. That's our background. And then if we wanted to maybe clean up the fonts or something, we could do that. But in general, we already have a functional sort of app, you know. Then what we want to do is zip it up. The best way to zip that up actually is by the command line. So I'm just going to go into Kindle. There we go. All right, so ls-1. So you can see this is our contents. We'll zip up the whole thing. Oops. I think that's it. There we go. Oops. So you can see now that we have our Kindle.zip that we've created. Okay. And what we are going to do next is we're going to use the web app tester. So I'm going to go back and I'm not going to switch over to I've got some screenshots so you can see it. So the web app tester is an app that's on the App Store already. It's public. Anyone can grab it. You just search for web app tester and download it. And what it allows you to do is this is basically a test app that uses the same exact wrapper that your live web apps will use. So it's all you need to do is enter a URL if you have a hosted version of your app, or you can push over the zip file from your PC to your Fire TV, your actual live Fire TV, and test it on the app using the same wrapper as you are going to use when it's live. So it's a great way to test because you're going to see exactly what the app is going to look like and perform like right on your device before you ever even go to the App Store. So once we've downloaded it, this is the interface. It could be a little better, but the idea is you enter in a URL or you enter in your zip file, you push it over. And then, as you can see, this is the demo I showed you before, but what you can do is hit the menu button and you can do something like enable DevTools. This allows you to use your developer tools from your PC, just like you were doing regular front-end web development. You can now remotely connect to the Fire TV and do remote development. When you hit the enable DevTools, you basically get a little sign like this that says, "Here's your IP. Here's your local IP address. Just put that into your desktop browser, and then you can see the remote DevTools, which looks, if you're a web developer, it looks pretty simple. This allows you the developer cycle is really straightforward and really familiar if you're a web developer, and allows you to go through and tweak things and adjust your CSS, adjust the color, the content, the logos, just as easily as you would in any web page. Once you've done that, once you're ready to go, you take that same exact zip file that you've been using to push over or the same hosted site, and you go to Amazon Developer Portal, sign up for a free account, and you need to just go through their Submit Web App wizard. It's pretty straightforward. Here's the steps. It's actually not as bad as it seems. Create a free developer account. You enter the metadata on the new web app submission. So title, category, screenshots, the icon, nothing too amazing. How much you're going to charge for it, if you're going to charge for it, any sort of multimedia, like if you want a sample video, you just put that all up. It's a wizard. You just kind of fill it out. You then choose, okay, am I going to host it on my own website, which actually has an advantage that you can then change the interface if you want to. I'm pretty sure Wall Street Journal is hosted. So, so Funny or Die, for example, they uploaded a zip file with all the HTML5 assets inside that zip. So then it just becomes part of the downloaded app on the devices. Wall Street Journal interface hosted on their servers. So if they want to tweak something or add something later on, they don't have to republish anything. They can just tweak it on the server just like a regular web page, and it'll go live. So there's benefits to both. I mean, one, you have to keep a website up and running, and the other one, you don't. But then you have more flexibility if you have your own website and do it. One second, I'm almost at the end. So you either do those two things, and then you basically, in the device support, we have a lot of different devices, tablets and phones. You just choose Fire TV and Fire TV Stick, and then that app will then go out live. And it only takes a few hours for it to get approved and to go through. Because the web app, because we created the template, if you haven't done many changes to it, if you've just done what I kind of just showed you, it'll fly through the development, the testing process, because we've made sure that it's been pre-made to do that. So you can literally get a new channel up and running in less than a couple hours. So that is the end of the presentation. Here are some links to, if you'd like more information about the Wall Street Journal, there's the link at the top right, wsj.com/video. These are all the developer portal links. And then if you'd like to contact us, here's the Amazon App Store links as well. So what I'm going to do is, if you have any questions, we're going to hang out afterwards just for a little bit and come and ask me. And then I think we're done. So thanks, Justin, for coming out.
Yep.
And then we're done.